Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jay. He's Maddie. This is Yankee and the Brit Sunday pregame show, and we're going to go through some games for you.
Yeah, man. Excited for this week. I mean, it's quite a relaxing week for me this week because the Cowboys aren't playing. So that's great. And the Eagles have already played. So I'm relaxed.
Well, the Eagles already played, and if you followed me, you won your bet because the Texans covered the point spread.
Yeah, which is exactly what we said would happen, which went well. We said they'd win easily, which the Texans never felt like they were that close when I was watching the game. Like second half onwards, it didn't feel like the Texans were that close. That interception changed the entire game. And then from there, they covered the point spread because they stayed in the game, but it never really felt like the Eagles were going to give that up.
Well, I know your boy Florio made himself look like a jackass again this week by saying the Eagles are going 17-0.
He's got to be doing that for clicks, right? Just don't say anybody's going 17-0. But you do look at their schedule and you think, damn, that's like quite an easy schedule. Like you're not going to really know who the Eagles are until the playoffs, but nobody goes 17-0.
Well, they keep saying that. I hear people go, well, they only have the 12th toughest schedule, but out of all winning teams, they have the toughest schedule.
Yeah, so they have the 12th toughest schedule, which is, what's that? The 24th easiest schedule. So what's that? Like, does that mean, sorry, I've got that wrong. I've got that completely wrong.
I got confused.
Yeah, I messed myself up. So there are only 12 teams in the league with easier schedules than
11,
they have,
yeah.
right? 11 teams in the league with easier schedules than
with tougher schedules.
Oh, right. There's only 11 teams in the league with tougher schegetles. All right, okay.
Then and why aren't the other teams? They have the toughest schedule so far.
Yeah. So why aren't the other teams that have easier schedules than them?
I did look at the breakdown. It's very weird though. All like most of PFT's views come from overseas.
Yeah, they get played on Sky, so there are so if we watch them on Sky during the week, they're on mainstream TV here.
Yeah, they're on NBC Sports or some shit here, but
they're NBC Sports now, aren't they? They also do it on Peacock, but there are
maybe
so we have Good Morning America and we have PFT. That's what we have in terms of those kind of shows on mainstream TV.
Sorry to hear that.
Nobody watches Good Morning America. Good Morning Football, not Good Morning America.
Good Morning Football is better than Florio.
Yeah, definitely. But I only watch Florio's little clips on YouTube rather than actually sitting down and watching a full show of that.
And I watched dumbass Jim Rat in the house. What's up, Jim Rat? I watched Peter King say the dumbest shit ever too. That they banned pushing in the NFL.
Like as in mauling, like where you
pushing your running
push the guy from behind. Yeah.
Dumb.
I mean, I would, but that's just to stop the Eagles, who seem to be the only team who can do it consistently.
I think teams should line up with 3 linemen behind their quarterback on the goal line and just run right into the back of them as hard as they can.
Yeah, Jason Kelce feels exactly the same if you listen to...
well, what he did was illegal. You can't pull, you can push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what I was saying was illegal during the Cowboys game. I just messed it up, the pulling and the pushing, because they pulled him over the line a couple of times instead of pushing from the back. But they also push from the back. Yeah, so the Eagles, they pull from the front and they push from the back.
Yeah, but I think it's football. Just tackle them.
Yeah,
it's pretty small. No, I know, but it's just
I agree.
I love Peter King, but that dude, I could not believe what was coming out of his mouth. I said, "Oh, you turned into the old get off my lawn guy real quick."
Yeah, I mean, I agree with just letting them push. It's a thing that they do in rugby. It's a genuine tactic the whole time. Maybe something like the ball can't be in the middle of the push. So in rugby, the ball has to be at the back of the push. It can't be at the front of the push. It has to be at the back. So they push the ball back all the way. They pass the ball backwards in their hands all the way back there. It has to be at the back. But so maybe it could be in the middle. is all. Can't be in the middle. Yeah. Because then people can actually get to
fucking
it.
Time, Zag.
Hey.
I don't know if you know Mr. Zag. That's my guy. We are in the comments together all the time on like Turf Tales or on Winging It. Dude is probably the funniest guy in the comments.
Yeah, and he just put forward our point exactly. The reason that I want them to ban it, Zag, is because the Eagles are so good at it. Apart from that, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. It works really well. All for it. That's
fucking paying your bills is more important than watching us. I see how that fucking goes.
Scum. It's just terrible.
Well, we'll start with the first game of the week, which is the Colts Patriots, and I don't have any faith in the Colts. Not that I love the Patriots this year, but Belichick is a better coach, and I just think the Patriots the Colts might actually be a better team on paper. They're just not playing like it this year. And that offensive line is awful. And they went from great to awful over one offseason, like they forgot how to play football. So I'm taking the Patriots in this one.
Yeah, so it's difficult because the quarterback position in this is so hard to evaluate. And I mean, I don't think either of them are going to play through their quarterback whatsoever. But if it goes to that, neither of them can really defend the run that well. So if you look at it, if you sit down and look at their stats and everything, neither of them are able to defend the run, and both of them can run the ball. So it's going to be an interesting thing to look at. So I'm going to call the Colts in that one. I think there's a lot less concern over Sam Ellinger's head because he knows he's their guy right now where Matt Ryan's injured. He got an 100 passer rating. He got an 100 passer rating last week for 201 yards, which isn't bad. Also considering Jonathan Taylor's coming back off that injury and they're giving him more and more carries. Can they get Jonathan Taylor up to 25 carries this game rather than the 16 of last game and just up his carries throughout the season? I think that then puts the Patriots on the back foot a little bit, and with their quarterback concerns, I'm not sure whether they can take advantage of the fact that the Colts aren't great at defending the pass either, which means they can sell out for the run. And I think this could be Jonathan Taylor's game where he goes, right, I'm back and I'm the guy.
I love JT on Wisconsin, but that offensive line is just awful, so I can't trust it.
Yeah, it's just if they're running the ball, the offensive line isn't horrendous. So the offensive line isn't awful when they run the ball. When JT's been carrying the ball coming back off this injury, so if he's going to get more and more carries, the only reason is the Patriots just really can't seem to defend the run at all this season. Sam Ellinger, don't throw the fucking ball. Like only when it's completely open and they've got everybody in the box, you can come out of the play and then throw the ball. But apart from that, barely throw the ball this game. But when you do throw it, just make sure it's complete. Like they got 3 interceptions on Zach Wilson's last week, and that gives their offense the kickstart that they need because their offense can't run the ball if their defense isn't getting interceptions.
Well, here's a good prop bet for anybody. Colts anytime turnover, it'll happen.
Yeah, definitely. Mac Jones has gone from this really solid guy who's not giving the ball away, taking the plays when they're there, to this guy who he's thrown interceptions on every single game. So yeah,
the way it sounds, he is not happy being in New England either.
Would you? I wouldn't be, like, with the way that they've done this.
No, but players need to take more control of their career, and they just don't do it.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm Mac Jones, then I'm perhaps trying to put my foot out the door. I mean, Mac Jones of the Colts makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I think Belichick wants any reason to get rid of him too. I think that is definitely something, because I think that Belichick does nothing that is not really well thought out, and like what he thinks is best, even if we don't agree. Very well thought out, man. Doesn't do things spur of the moment. There was something with that whole him and Zappy thing that he's not a fan of Mac Jones, it doesn't seem like right now either.
Yeah, I feel like he's not a fan of Mac Jones because Mac Jones has come out and complained or come out and said he's not quite getting the offense when he doesn't have an offensive coordinator or a quarterback coach, really. Like when they've completely torn up the offensive staff by him, he's doing shit. So therefore Bailey Zappi's much better. And it's like, no, you fuck. Like you tore it away from him, and that wasn't directed at UL World, considering I'm making a point against you. I just said,
no, you fuck at the same Mac time. Jones, though, coming out of the draft.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more on Zag's side. Zag, you need to tune in more because you're basically putting my points up just as I'm about to make them. They're coming from a place where neither of them are really that good. It's not going to make too much.
Guys, so underestimate a 4th-round quarterback who had to come in under the worst pressure, under the worst circumstances, and played pretty well. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, he played better in 2 games than Dak did in the last 36.
That you don't believe that. There's no way you don't believe that. There's no way that you
the fact that you don't believe that I believe Dak's not that good baffles me after 2 years.
No. I believe you believe that Dak's not that good. I don't believe you can take away the season opener last season against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Dak got paid off of 6 games against all losing teams, and then he got paid and never played well again.
Yeah, I mean, am I the guy on the left or the right?
You would be the left.
I must be the left.
I guess it depends. I'm the left to them. I'm the left to them.
Yeah, so it must be you. So I don't agree with you on the whole Zappy and Dak prospect. I do agree with you that Belichick probably wants Zappy. It makes him look more intelligent if Zappy comes off. I'm not underestimating Zappy too much. I just think both of them don't make life too much different for either of the teams that they go to.
Well, Zag, by the way, since he's got paid, he's 500. 500 on paper with one of the supposedly best teams in the NFL over the last 2 years. 500.
Yeah, after coming off a massive injury and having a historically bad defense. So don't.
So his offensive
you just
stats
leave that
have
out.
Anything to do with the defense?
No, so his offensive stats are he led the league in in yards and points. He led the league in points and yards last season, and then he got injured at the start of this season.
But
yes, they are because of his defense.
You prop up him with
his win-loss record.
You say his stats make him, but when it comes to other quarterbacks, you say the stats are skewed.
Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. Right. Here's where this gets messed up. Right. So I don't think Dak is the best fucking quarterback in the league. I think he's borderline top 10, and I'm just defending him. He's not absolute trash, which is where you go to. So I'm not saying that he's the best guy in the league
against his play, and no Cowboy fan seems to do that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think me and you also disagree.
16 at best. I did the rankings.
Me and you disagree on the use of the void years in his contract, but they're not even playing this week. Why are we talking about Dak? They're not even playing this week.
Well, because you tried to you guys. I'm comparing him to another 4th-round quarterback that you guys seem to not give any credit to.
Yeah, I mean, Bailey Zappi is not having the same. Bailey Zappi came in and said,
"Go write down all your quarterbacks, put them in order, and then come back to me. I guarantee you, he's not even in the top 12 or 13 for you."
Yeah, just to put that into perspective, Jay has Zach Wilson.
No, that is not what I said. I said I would rather have Zach.
Oh, you'd rather have him.
I didn't say he was better. But I believe he's got more talent and less pay. And if he was on the Cowboys, it'd be a whole different ball game.
Should we do a video on this midweek? Oh, no, because they don't play this week. Next week. Next midweek after he does his. All right, okay.
Okay, so better than him. No particular order because I didn't put him in top order. Josh Allen, Tua, Mahomes, Herbert, Wilson, Lamar, Burrow, Watson, Hurts, Stafford, Murray, Cousins, Brady, Rodgers, and then guys I'd rather have Mac Jones, Derek Carr, Trevor Lawrence. And it's because of the pay. Because he is Derek Carr. Him and Derek Carr are a mirror of each other.
You were trying to convince me last year that Derek Carr
I'm not trying to convince you of anything.
You were trying to convince me last year that Derek Carr was top 10, and now he
played a lot better last year. It's a moving target. It's not like, okay, so the best quarterback in the NFL is Joe Montana. Since he's retired, we're just going to keep it. It never changes. It's a fluid thing. It changes. But this year, those are all the quarterbacks that are I just don't get like how he's on a team. Rodgers gets all this blame for the Packers not winning more games than Super Bowls, but yet Dak's on a better team and never has to eat that same shit.
Yeah, I mean, we disagree. I think that Dak, but you're a homer on Kirk Cousins as well. I'd say he's Kirk Cousins. I say Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins are pretty much the same.
I mean, Dak's Dak was as accurate. You'd be absolutely.
Yeah, but Dak's more athletic.
You'd rather have Justin Fields over Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen.
No, because Patrick Mahomes is also athletic and Joshua Allen is also athletic. I'm not saying I'd rather have either or. I'm saying like they kind of can balance out each other at points.
Just for the record, Cousins hit 22 miles an hour on that run last week.
Sorry.
Jim Rat's
I'm winning in the comments. But anyway, right. Sorry. Back to the game in hand.
By the way, just for the record, over the last 3 years, most accurate quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. But stats can be skewed, Jay.
That's my point. But when it comes to Dak, the stats are gospel when it comes to Dak with you. Except the wins and losses. Except the wins and losses, you make excuses.
No, because that stat balance out the defensive stats balance out the reason for the wins and losses. It's all a similar vein. So they balance out the stats for the wins and losses. So if you're bringing in the stat for the win and loss, then let's talk about the defensive stats on the other side of the ball and the fact that Dak has scored the most points in the NFL last season.
With teams that were predicted to go to the Super Bowl the last 3 years.
Because of awful coaching and the defense.
But you guys all lay that on Aaron Rodgers, but not Dak. That's my argument. So if Rodgers has to eat the blame for not having more Super Bowls, then Dak has to eat the blame.
I don't give Aaron Rodgers the blame for that.
You have.
I said that. Yeah, I said that Aaron Rodgers' defenses haven't been good. I say this season is Aaron Rodgers' fault. Last season, and the reason that he doesn't get the Super Bowls.
Cousins has gotten awful fucking treatment and blamed for everything. Mm-hmm. That's 100%. Not even an argument.
100%. I'm also not slagging off Kirk Cousins when I'm talking about this.
All right. So before we get on to the Packers game, oh shit. I got text coming in. It just threw my phone off the table. Sorry. Before we get there, you guys, I don't even get paid for this, but dude, Linda's fucking barbecue sauce. Look at that. Linda's barbecue sauce. We tried them both yesterday. They're delicious. Go over to Linda's. And because of our friends at Overtime Hustlin', use the promo code Hustlin' and you'll get 10% off. All right. I had to do it though, because it was that good. I don't know what the shipping is to the UK, Maddie, but if you get a chance to try Linda's, it's really good. And I'm not just saying that. I would have just shut up about it if it was shitty.
All right. I'll go check it out.
All right. Packers, Lions. Everything in me wants to pick the Lions to win this game. Everything. Because I don't know if if the Packers can't score on the fucking Lions, 32 ranked defense, then they're in real trouble. So that's why I'm scared to take the Lions, but I think the Lions might be able to outscore the Packers. So I really went back and forth on this. I'm just riding with the Packers, but I hope the Lions win.
Lions win.
It's the first time in my life. I hope you're right.
Lions win. Packers can't defend the run. So the 32 ranked defense in the NFL shouldn't matter as much as it would against other teams that can defend the run, because the Lions are going to hopefully control the time of possession. However, if the Packers come out and just start running the ball, this could be one of those games where, because everybody's just going to be running the ball, is because everybody's just going to be running the ball. It could be a lower scoring game than we think it's going to be with the 32nd rank defense. But I'm taking the Lions. I know the Packers can't defend the run, and I know the Lions can put up big points. And something else I know is the Packers don't look like they can put up big points in a hurry. They can put up big points driving it down the field. Yeah, and the Lions always play them tough. If there's going to be a game where their defense stands up, it's going to be this one.
I feel like there was a little bit of clicking for the Packers in that Bills game, so we'll see if that carries over or not. I don't know, man, but the Lions are still the Lions, and they always make me wonder because you have the 32nd ranked defense, so the Packers should be able to score, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know shit about when it comes to the Packers this year.
Yeah, I feel like the Lions defense being 32nd in the league is an interesting 32nd. It's one of those ones where I'm not entirely sure how they're ending up 32nd in the league, because sometimes you look at their play and they look much better on the field than they actually are. And on paper, they should be better than the 32nd.
I really think it all boils down to that speed stat. I really do, as odd as that sounds, that they're the slowest team since the early 90s.
Yeah. So, and their defensive line doesn't get to the quarterback because they don't have any speed. Aiden Hutchinson has all the moves in his locker and he still just doesn't make it to the...
They need another Aiden Hutchinson, and because, like we said, he's good, not great. If they had two Aiden Hutchinsons, it would equal one really great player coming off both ends, I think. But
yeah, definitely.
He's good, but not great, and he's athletic, but not super athletic. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have those measurables that make you go, oh, he's going to be a Chase, or oh, he's going to be a Z, or oh, he's going to... I even hate to use the word Micah Parsons, so let's just pass him because nobody's a Micah Parsons.
Nobody's going to be Micah Parsons. But even like a guy like Rodrigo that they have in the center, who is really tough and plays every play on paper exactly like how it should be played, but he makes the hit. As long as he gets to the guy, it feels like he doesn't quite have the physical attributes to make it pay on paper. And that's why, was he an undrafted free agent or like a 4th or 5th round pick or something like that? The guy from one of the stars of Hard Knocks.
I'm trying to remember.
It's Rodrigo is his nickname, isn't it?
I know. I just keep, every time somebody says Hard Knocks, all I hear is, man, we just got to do that, man. And just like nails down a chalkboard for me. But they were, his name's not even Rodrigo. I don't even remember what his fucking name is. They just started calling him that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a late round draft pick. I don't remember exactly when.
Yeah, but he plays really good in the linebacker position. So if you put a really quick linebacker next to him who can actually get to the guy, then he'll only be a step behind making the correct play, being there. And I think that, definitely 100%. I think that I think that their defense just requires some speed. I agree with you. I also think their defense is the 32nd worst because people are passing on it. Like, that for some reason, like they just can't defend the pass because they can't get to the quarterback because they don't have enough, and then their corners don't have enough speed to keep up with the wide receivers. But the Packers just don't seem to have any chemistry in that wide receiver quarterback tandem going on. And the reason I think it got clicking against the Bills is because the Bills were letting it click.
Well, really, no, I agree, but that's all it takes is a little confidence for those receivers. Yeah. That's what I want to see if it carries over. I wasn't saying that, shit, nigga, the Packers are back. I'm just saying those receivers had zero confidence this year, and it didn't help that Rodgers was piling on top of them in the media. So
I'm just not sure how much confidence the receivers can take from that game when they only scored 17 points and Aaron Jones ran for 200 yards.
Well, they caught the ball. That was kind of
exactly.
Right?
So
but like catching so what I saw that made me wonder is, I forget the fucking kid's name. He was a 7th round draft pick for the Packers, starts with a T. But when they had that scramble where Rodgers is scrambling last year and the years before, everybody moved around, and that was when Rodgers was the most dangerous. All his receivers would scramble and get open. This year, they weren't doing it. I started to see them start to do those off-schedule things, and that we just wonder that I feel like that might breed some confidence for the young guys. We'll see, though. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just if the standard is catching. Yeah, if that's the standard for the Packers, their wide receivers can get some confidence because they moved it down the field and got within 10 points of the Bills, then
but that's
I
not
worry
what I'm
for the
saying.
Packers. No.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I'm not blaming you.
I'm saying, but that wasn't even close to my point.
I don't think they should be taking that much confidence from that. But the wide receivers and
it's not the
should be
score,
taking
though. It's the fact that they ran, they
actually
caught the ball and
when
they were dropping, scrambled. Certain things work for them that haven't been working, and it's little things to build confidence in the receivers. Like, I'm on this verge, and you can tell me if you think I'm wrong, because I might be completely wrong on this. I'm on the verge of thinking that they might have ruined Watson with the first play of the game on the way Rodgers labeled him in the media. Yeah. This young kid's confidence has to be gone.
Yeah.
And now he's injured, totally agree with you. Like
that's what I've been saying about Rodgers this season, like piling on him as not being a leader, piling on him as not being.
I love those one-word answers. Explain, expand.
But they were piling on him in terms of the media and piling on him in terms of what Aaron Rodgers said with him in the media. I feel like that could destroy some of his confidence. I do think, however, if he goes towards a different team and gets away from that toxic environment that seems to be the wide receiver room in the Packers at the moment, then he has a load of talent. Let's remember, he was open on that first play of the game.
All right.
Still needs to catch the ball.
We'll move through some of these quickly because just like in regular football, Dak fucked up our show. Okay, my bad. I'll stop shit now. All right. So I want to say one quick thing about Micah Parsons, though, before we move on. He might be the next Lawrence Taylor without the juvenile rape charges.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with you about the juvenile rape charges, and then I'm not gonna say anything about LT because I don't want to jinx Micah Parsons.
All right, fair enough. So Chargers, Falcons, I can't even explain to you why, so this is a good one to be quick. I have no idea why I'm taking the Falcons.
I'm also taking the Falcons, and I can tell you exactly why. Cordero Patterson's back. The Chargers can't defend the run, and with Cordero Patterson being back, that opens up Drake London down the field, and the Falcons seem to have something clicking together, whereas the Chargers don't really have anything clicking together right now. I love the Chargers. I think they're going to be much better off this bye week, but I just, for some reason, just feel that the Falcons are going to outscore them in this game.
All right, Bills, Jets. I'm taking the Bills, but I think that it'll be within 14 points.
Is that the spread, 14?
I have no idea. I'm just telling you what I think.
Yeah. I think, again, Bills are going to win.
I've been seeing the Jets are going to lose by fucking 30 on the internet, so I think that's why.
Okay, cool. Right, okay. I think the Bills are going to win. I think the score's going to be relatively close, but it's never going to feel like the Jets are going to win the game. If you get what I mean. So like the Packers last week.
And I missed who Jim Rat was asking that about. Wasn't he a wide receiver?
Cordero Patterson, I think.
Oh, yeah. He got drafted as a wide receiver and the Vikings fucked up and didn't use him in the right spots. And he's a lot better than I thought he was because there was smarter coaches than Mike Zimmer to get him in the ball in different places.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a gadget guy. He'll play everywhere. And I think he makes
he's a better running back.
Totally different. Yeah, definitely. I love him playing from the backfield, but he can spread out, and it does kind of fuck up your substitutions and formations if you can empty the backfield all of a sudden, and then you've got to have a linebacker recovering deep.
All right. The game that's going to give me a fucking heart attack, the Vikings at the Commanders, because I feel like this is one of those fucking trap games, and it makes me nervous, and I don't know. It just got me already on the edge.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to give you a heart attack because Taylor Heineke can only play in the second half. So, like, you're going to get out miles in front, and then all of a sudden, Taylor Heineke is going to become prime Aaron Rodgers and just, like, throw ridiculous game-playing shit that just doesn't look like anybody should be able to throw.
Yeah, so that game makes me super nervous.
Yeah, I think where I like the Vikings and so the Commanders can't play in the first half, as I said. They get off to slow starts. Their defense is weak. Like I don't understand why their defense is weak. It's starting to look like that year where they won the NFC East because their defense was incredible was the outlier rather than they've had so many injuries because it's only it's only Chase Young that's missing now from that defense. So one guy shouldn't make that much of a difference. I know I'm saying that as a Cowboys fan. If Micah Parsons goes, that makes a huge difference to us, but that's only because of how good our defense is. Their defense is, or like our defense will become average if Micah Parsons isn't there, whereas their defense is at best below average and at worst is terrible. And I'm taking the Vikings in this one because I think you guys are going to get ahead, and then you guys really do have the ability to kill off the game, and it's where your habit of winning, even though you haven't been playing that well, will come into fruition throughout the year.
And Tomlinson being out in the middle of that defense makes me nervous. So I hope these young guys can step up because they're going to be playing some guys that I really haven't got to see play games too much. I mean, a little bit last week, and they played well. But it's young guys coming in to fill the middle of that defense makes me a little nervous. I just hope they can. It's not the pass that makes me nervous because we watched some of those guys push the center on passes last week.
Yeah.
It's can you hold up against the run? It makes me a little nervous.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really play the middle of the field anyway, which is an interesting thing with the Vikings defense.
The last 2 games,
you've got better.
The last 2 games, but it was always the passing in the middle of the field, though.
Yeah.
And it's weird with 2 of the top 10 middle linebackers in football, and you're having that kind of problems is weird to me. Weird. Yeah. So, all right, Panthers, Bengals. Speaking of the Panthers, another guy the Packers couldn't get a deal done for comes out, DJ Moore. They went after him, couldn't get that done, couldn't get Claypool done. And then now today we find out they went after Darren Waller and couldn't get that done either.
Yeah, I think it's wild that they couldn't get it done, but the Bears could. I mean, where the Bears have that draft capital, where we should really talk about the midseason trades on.
Yeah, we should do
our own podcast. Really summarize it all up. But the midseason, I was really off that midseason trade for Claypool from the Bears. I really didn't think it made any sense whatsoever to recoup those picks by giving away a player that you know is great to get then a player back, which you're not sure what he is or you're not sure how great he is.
I guess
but they have so much draft capital.
They both offered a second, but of course the Steelers went with the Bears pick because they feel like it's going to be a higher pick than the Packers.
Yeah, that must be it. That must be it.
But that's what they said. They came out and actually said that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like the Packers are so desperate. Also, I don't know whether it will be a higher pick. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But
as of right now, it is though, and you can only go off what's in front of you, right? So that's probably
yeah.
But with the game at hand, I think they're going to fall. Well, no, I'm the one that digressed. But, I don't think the Panthers have a shot. I think they're dead. I think that loss last week is a morale killer when they were playing above their talent anyway after losing their coach, which happens sometimes. They come back down to earth. They're the Panthers again. Bengals win by double digits.
Yeah, I think the reason that the Panthers didn't give up DJ Moore is because they're only 1 game behind in the NFC South. So they could still technically get to the playoff spots. And if they give up DJ Moore, then they have 0 offensive weapons outside of Devontae Friedman, who looked great, but like that's coming off a week where it's because everybody's been saying how awful he's been, you know?
He is the most traded guy in fantasy leagues this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, loads of people deciding that I might come off him.
He's
and loads
good
of people
enough
decide
to like somebody's like, I need a running back during my bye weeks, but he's not good enough for somebody to go, I want to sit him on my bench. So he's the most traded.
Yeah, I want to like hold on to him. Yeah. But I feel like he might come back down to earth as well because I feel like the Falcons defense is not good. Let's just put that out there. I'm picking the Bengals in this because they have like such mad offensive power. But the reason that the Panthers have been winning games is because their defensive line can get to quarterbacks and the Bengals can't keep their quarterback upright. But I still think that the talent overdoes it. So I'm taking the Bengals for this.
So Raiders, Jags. This one was weird for me because I don't know why. I know that the Raiders or the Jags should win this game. Something is telling me the Raiders might win this one, but I'm still going with the Jags because my head I can't brush off all the shit I've seen from the Raiders this year to just pick them because they have been so atrocious at times. And the Jags have been on the upswing at times. And I still think Doug Peterson's the right guy for the job. They have one of the youngest teams in football. So I'm taking the Jags, but something in me just tells me the Raiders are going to win this game.
Yeah, once again, I'm glad in those games where we're both teetering on the edge, we've gone for different teams on
You took the Raiders?
Either one. So I'm taking the Raiders in this one.
All right.
I think Josh Jacobs had a down week last week,
yes.
and I think he's definitely going to come back against the Jags, which is really unfortunate because I had to play against Josh Jacobs last week, and I have to play against him this week.
I think
somebody traded him.
I think Devontae got me 1.8 points last week.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So I feel like, yeah, well, they got shut out, didn't they? They got shut out.
Yeah, you can't play any worse if you're the Raiders, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can't play any worse.
Yeah, I feel like they're just going to come out, and that's just like if you have a down week and you're not playing that well anyway, you're coming down from like a pretty low spot. So they've hit rock bottom, and then they're going to bounce straight back up. And I don't know. I think the Jags played above their ability to start this season. I don't think that's the real Jags that we're going to see going through the rest of the season. I think Trevor Lawrence is still going through a lot of growing pains. And I just think the reason that people are shitting on Trevor Lawrence is because of the high expectations coming out of Trevor Lawrence rather than he's actually been playing terrible football. Like, I don't think he's been playing terrible, but I also think people expected him to be Andrew Luck, like as soon as he walked out of the league. And that's just not going to, it turns out Trevor Lawrence isn't that generational talent coming out.
We'll have to talk about this some other time because I'm already going to get hit in the comments. But if you really go and look at it, Andrew Luck was overrated and he was Matt Hasselbeck at best. Go look at his numbers. Go look at what he did. I mean, he was overrated and he ended up being Matt Hasselbeck. But like, whatever, it happens.
This could have been one of those times where the stats are skewed. But I always do wonder where we get this Andrew Luck.
Peyton Manning. They put him up to Peyton Manning. It just baffles me.
Yeah, exactly. It's when people say like he's a generational talent like Peyton Manning. Like when people were saying Trevor Lawrence is that generational guy that comes straight out like Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. And it's like Andrew Luck was a great quarterback, not Peyton Manning. And they went through very similar things.
Peyton lost 15 games in his first season. Like they seem to forget that too. Like,
yeah,
Peyton got his ass whooped in his first season. But the last thing I'll say about the Raiders, as soon as I say they can't play any worse, they're going to be like, hold my beer and watch this.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the Raiders are good. I think Devontae Adams is
I kind of hope you're right too on that one for some odd reason. So
because you predicted the Raiders to win.
Yeah, but I'm already off the Raiders bandwagon, like for them winning anything. I just thought Josh McDaniels was going to take them up a level, and it didn't happen. Maybe it will next year or years to come.
I mean,
I thought he was going to spark them.
I think he still can come out and take them up a level. He has come out and said that, or a lot of people have come out and said how complicated his particular style of offense is. And I think it will take 2 years. I hope they don't. I hope the Raiders don't react this season. I hope they give him one more season because what are the Raiders going to do? I feel like, and I know it's a win now league, but sometimes just chill out and you might really have something. And if you don't buy 3/4 of the way through next season, then yeah, maybe it is time to get rid of Josh McDaniels, but don't jump right now.
So my question for you is how you think this game against the Dolphins and the Bears pan out, since I know that, okay, you got a little bit more love for Fields than I do, and I won't beat you and say he's the best in the league like I do to you. You got a little more love than for him than I do. But besides being a slippery bastard, I don't see like how they move the ball. And I think the Dolphins are going to come out and just walk the Bears.
I don't know. I feel like being a slippery bastard against the Dolphins is quite helpful. Because what Jay's talking about is because I've got Justin Fields in my fantasy team starting over Tom Brady this week.
Well, no, what Jay's talking about is because, and I just referred to myself in third person. I should just go beat my own ass. What I'm talking about is that I don't think Justin Fields should be a starting quarterback in the NFL. You do.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's caught me off guard.
I've said it before. Yeah. I think he's like the 32nd best starting quarterback right now.
Yeah.
He can't throw. And he's a quarterback.
Yeah, I just think you can really build an offense around Justin Fields' particular talents. And
don't get me wrong,
he's
the
a quarterback,
only better quarterback in the league with their legs is Lamar. That's the only quarterback right now better. It's just that Fields misses the most open fucking throws. And I don't know. I don't love the idea he's got a defensive coach either, but that's...
No, I don't like that either. But what I do agree with you. He misses the easiest fucking throws and then makes an absolute screamer. Like, you know what? Like, he misses the easiest throw and then just throws an absolute dart. And it's just like, man, make the easy throw, miss the hard one, and then I'll be more on the bandwagon, even more on the bandwagon than I already am.
It's really weird. Ohio State
no
either.
Touch.
That's the thing. As a Big Ten fan, as a Badger fan, I watch so many Big Ten games, and it's just like, I haven't seen him get better from his days at Ohio State at all. And I'll tell you this, as much as I shit on the kid, and he is still a kid to me because I'm 44, right? Like, I hope I'm absolutely wrong about him and he becomes a great quarterback. I just hope it's somewhere else besides Chicago if it happens. But I'm so caught off guard where he's getting this love, and I'm like, dude, if he could not run,
I'm not giving him crazy amounts of
love.
I
know. I give you shit that how much you like him. I don't think you like him as much as I say. But.
Yeah, I just like running. Like, I just think like the reason he's starting in my fantasy team this week is because running the ball gets you a decent amount of fantasy points.
It's probably not a bad bet. He runs for 1 or 2 touchdowns, and he just...
Yeah. So, and I think against the Dolphins, they're starting a lot of, their defense is a fucking mess because they're all injured. It's not because of anything to do with their defense being terrible. They're just all injured, which is...
And I'm really sold on the Dolphins with Tua.
I'm really so sold on the Dolphins. So sold on it. So the way that I'm looking at this game happening is the Dolphins, the Bears, it's going to be like the Dallas game, I think. So the Bears control the clock. They march the ball down the field. They have a good run game, but they have absolutely zero chance of winning because every time the other team gets the ball, they go and score a touchdown within like 6 plays. Like, that's what's going to happen. And I hope the Bears don't come away from their run game, even if they're going to lose. Like, I just want the Bears to like build block by block by block. Like, I feel like that's the way they should do it. Like, don't go for the fucking win if you're losing by 20 points. Just
Mike McDaniels is coaching his fucking ass off.
Mm-hmm,
he changed that culture from a bad 100%. Owner too, which is really hard. They got a bad owner.
A bad owner, some serious shit where they got in trouble for tampering.
You don't know, everybody knows, but if you don't know, just go Google Dolphins Brian Flores. You'll see the whole thing.
So it's not like they got rid of a head coach that seemed to be doing really, really well for shady ass looking reasons. And now they've brought in Mike McDaniels, who's doing amazing. And I just don't want the credit for that to go to the owner at all.
Right. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry, big up Mike McDaniels. And even though I do like Justin Fields, I mean, I'm taking the Dolphins in this. I'm not delusional.
No, I was being fair today because I like to beat you up for your love of Josh McDaniels. But
you already got me with Dak
for Fields, but it's not as big as I make it sound. So this one's easy for me, and I'm just going to put it this way. Cardinals by an upset over the Seahawks. D-Hop, 3 touchdowns.
Yep, I agree with you. And I think a lot of the media are forgetting that DeAndre Hopkins is back.
Really?
Yeah, the Cardinals look great. The Cardinals
Everything
with DeAndre
I thought
Hopkins
you would pick today, you went opposite, though. You're blowing my mind. Blowing my mind.
Everything about everything about the Cardinals that we thought at the start of this season is different because DeAndre Hopkins is back. Like, let's just remember that.
Dude, that nasty one-handed catch last week, he didn't put it out until the ball was there.
Like, the whole offense is now wide open because DeAndre Hopkins is back.
Yes, I said I'm taking this 3 touchdowns.
I also think the fact that the Cardinals are starting to unlock some of their talent on defense as well. Like, the Cardinals have
Duty now has been out a couple of weeks, so maybe
so he can calm down.
Playbook.
He's been in the film room a little bit, but the Cardinals defense have gadgets. They're really fucking quick. They have crazy talent, and I think that then overrides the Seahawks a little bit. Plus, DK Metcalf is out for the season because he's hurt his toe.
Yeah, well,
yep.
I don't even know. I'm not even going to comment on that because I like Metcalf. No, I like Metcalf, and it would just be smart ass shots at him to be funny, and it's just not even worth it at this point.
I did enjoy seeing something where it was like Washington running back Brian Robson got shot and missed 4 games.
Yeah.
And DK Metcalf hurt his toe and is out for the season.
Yeah, the Vikings have a guy on their practice squad who got shot last year, and he only missed like 6 games or something.
Yeah, so, that's that practice. That's that practice squad dog right there. Like once you've got paid, you know.
So Rams, Bucks. I don't even know what the spread is on this, so I don't know if this is the upset or not. But Bucks are at home. I think these teams are both mirroring each other in their bad play. Their defenses both should be playing better than they are, and their quarterbacks both got me scratching my head because they're better than this. I got the Bucks winning this game and turning their season around with the start of turning their season around right here.
So the point spread is Bucks by 3. So that's the home advantage, right?
Yeah. So if it was a neutral field, it'd be a push. Yeah.
Yeah. So if it was a neutral field, it'll be a push. Yeah. So I'm taking the Bucks in this one as well. Okay. I do think this is going to be a ridiculously low-scoring game because the reason whenever Tom Brady's bad is because he gets pressure up the middle. And Aaron Donald running up the middle against that offensive line is going to be a real problem. But I just trust Brady more than I do Stafford to not throw the ball away. I feel like that's where I'm at. Plus Mike Evans. But I mean, Stafford has Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Kupp got a little bit hurt last week. And I just think they're both awful against the run, but neither of them can run the ball. And both of their pass rushes have been pretty weak this season, but neither of their offensive lines can block the pass. They just cancel each other out in every single way for how bad they are on either side of the ball. But I think Tom Brady is going to win the Bucs this game after losing them the game last week.
Titans, Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. Titans, all they got is King Henry. It's going to be hard to beat Patrick Mahomes with just King Henry.
Yeah, especially is Ryan Tannehill back or is it Malik Wills this week?
I think it's Tannehill, but don't quote me on that. But like, can we look at?
I mean, it doesn't make a difference.
What AJ Brown is doing and go, hey, maybe the Titans fucked up.
Yeah, 1 first-round pick. What? They should have crippled the Eagles. They've then turned those first-round picks into more good fucking players. Should have absolutely crippled them for AJ Brown, but never mind. I mean, the Titans have been a weakness for the Chiefs, but I think the Chiefs are a different animal now with their systematic style. I want to see Kadarius Toney in a few plays and see what they've worked in over the bye weeks with Kadarius Toney to see what kind of effect he's going to have on their offense. I'm taking the Chiefs in this one.
All right, Ravens Saints. I know Kamara wanted to get traded and he didn't, and different things happened, and I'm just not sold on the Saints without Peyton as much as I used to. And that's not to shit on Dennis Allen at all because he seems to like a good coach, but he's not Sean Payton. They got some weird coach. Yeah, they got some weird shit going on in their organization right now too. I got the Ravens winning this game.
Yeah, I've got the Ravens winning this game as well. They made some sneakily awesome trade deadline moves. Apparently Roquan Smith's going to come in there straight away and be the not the play caller, but like the signaler. What is it? Like the captain in the middle of
he'll have the headset on.
Yeah, he'll have the headset on, and he's just got there, which is wild. But I love the Roquan Smith trade for them because they've not been able to hold on to leads, and he can tackle, so that's always quite helpful. I mean, Kamara looked awesome last week, like incredible. I'm surprised somebody didn't go in and just like offer something ridiculous that they couldn't have.
I don't know how true this is, but I read something that they wanted 2 first-round picks for a running back, and what they're really saying is we're not trading you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you're a team that's going to have a really low first-round pick, it might have been worth it. Like basically 2 second-rounders.
I'm just glad the Bills didn't get him.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly who I was thinking. I was thinking if you're the Bills, is Alvin Kamara not fucking worth it over Nyheim Hines? Like, is he not?
Hines is an upgrade over what they have.
Yeah, sneaky good trade move. I like that a lot.
Such a good in the receiving for Josh Allen too. He's such a good receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see them get a guy who's more known for their running, but they are kind of a monster in terms of guys catching out of the backfield there at Buffalo now with Nakeem Hines, Devin Singletary, and James Cook. I'm taking the Ravens in this one, though. I think the Ravens have just, like, their defense is solid. Andy Dalton is balling, by the way. Is he still keeping Winston on the bench? I haven't looked. I guess we'll find out tomorrow because
I think they said that Dalton's starting even if Winston's healthy.
Yeah, they did last week, and I think that I don't see Dalton being able to bring them back from 14 points down, even if he's going for it. And I just think that the Ravens are going to win this one.
All right, well, let's bring in our guest. And even though I uploaded the layover, I didn't even have time to look at who he picked. So I'm not even sure who Shug's 5 picks are, but we got Shug from OTH on the show. Thank you so much for being here, man, and we appreciate you coming back.
Yeah, of course. What's up?
There we go. We got his picks up on the screen.
All right. Yeah, so where are we different? We're quite similar apart from the Rams game, Shug. Do you want to talk to us about why you've gone for the Rams over the Bucks first? Because I feel like we didn't give that game enough time for what a big deal it's probably going to be to a lot of people.
Honestly, it's just Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald. I think
fair.
Aaron's going to give. I think Tom Brady fits. Tom Brady doesn't really have a line that's been protecting him this season. So, Aaron Donald's probably the best defensive lineman in the game outside of Parsons. So, yeah, I can see him in his face all day.
Yeah, and I think with the way what you just said, I could then turn that over and just say, "Oh, but Tom Brady has Mike Evans."
But
so they cancel each other out. It's so strange.
But then you also have the Rams have Jalen Ramsey,
and I trust Cooper Kupp more.
Yeah,
I trust Cooper Kupp more, Maddie, than you trust Mike Evans, even though Mike Evans is a monster.
100%. But I also trust Tom Brady more than I do Matthew Stafford.
That's
because Tom Brady, but not to like make a crazy throw, but just to throw the ball away rather than take the hit and throw an interception while you're trying to make like an absolute fucking crazy play to Cooper Kupp down the field, get absolutely sparked. But also Shaq Barrett's out this week, so that could make a big difference as well. When you look at it, I just think neither of them have an offensive line. And yes, Jalen Ramsey is in the game for the Rams. However, Mike Evans absolutely burnt him last time they played last season. So I feel like it's just the most even game that I think you can ever pick because both of them are so terrible in key areas of the field.
So my question to that would be, okay, if neither of them have a line, who would you trust more at quarterback to escape that pressure? Tom Brady or Matt
Stafford?
Yeah, so to escape the pressure, Stafford, but then after escaping the pressure, I would rather the thing is their offensive lines are so bad and neither of them are incredibly athletic. I'd rather see them throw the ball away than turn the ball over because you know the other team can't move the ball either. So just don't do anything stupid and let them have good field position. I feel like is more where I'm coming from with picking Tom Brady over Matthew Stafford in this.
Is Vance Joseph, when does he come back? Does anybody even know?
No idea.
Vance Joseph, no. Also, Allen Robinson didn't Allen Robinson have a good game last week? Is that not? Am I making that up?
Oh, wait, that's the coach, not the player. What the fuck was the player's name?
Yeah. But I totally get where you're coming from though, Shug. Like, honestly,
he almost convinced me. So I don't know. Like,
it's so crazy, like how they just like balance each other out.
Van Jefferson.
Because
he'll make a big difference when he comes back.
I think he comes back. He's this week, isn't he? Maybe
that's what I thought, but I didn't know.
Yeah, shit. Actually, Shug's gone.
Yep, they're expected to play. He must have had some bad connection or something. But he's back.
He's back.
So Vance Jefferson comes back this week, which I think it makes Shug's like argument against the Rams even more valid, which is really going to hurt my fucking Allen Robinson start because of the bye weeks.
Yeah. So you have to start Allen Robinson anyway.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Jay's a bit scared of his Minnesota Vikings being a trap game this week. Also, what do you reckon?
We play Bills Mafia next week, so I'm worried that they're thinking ahead too.
They're thinking ahead. Yeah.
Well, that's a loss next week for sure. But this week, I don't know. The Redskins have been, or I'm not allowed to say that. That's right.
Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders or whatever. They've actually been playing well the past couple of games. So I think really I don't think they have the talent to be playing that well. So I think this week they're just going to be back to normal. And the Vikings just have too many weapons. They got Cook, they got Madison, they got JJ. So at this point, I think it might be a slow start for them, but they'll end up winning by probably at least 10 points, I think.
I'm really interested to see how many plays that Hawkinson is in the game for, being that he just got there, had a week to get up to speed, that kind of thing. So I'm really interested to see like how much he really could digest of that offense. But he's one of those guys, he could have one big play for 35, 40 yards.
Yeah, as long as he gets 30 yards, I'm happy with his performance.
That's why I said that. I was going to say he can have one big play for 25 yards, but I know your parlay, so I threw it to 35.
Yeah, I feel like they might just play him the entire thing because, like, barring any complicated like blocking schemes or whatever, then
he is Johnny Munt. Don't get me wrong, but Johnny Munt has played all right for being, or played good for being Johnny Munt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's better in this offense than he's been in his whole career, even though he only has one touchdown. He has more touchdowns and receptions in these first games this year than he had in his whole career. So I think he'll still get some playing time, but I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Johnny Munt will get some playing time. Like, don't get me wrong, like maybe on the more complex, like screens and plays like that, like where you need to know exactly where you need to be to block. You need to know all the timing and everything like that. But I feel like also having TJ Hawkinson on the field takes more of a defensive effort. So like they may as well have him there for the fear of the big play. And then if they leave him alone because they're like, oh, he doesn't know any of the playbook, it's obviously not going there. That's when all of a sudden he gets 30 yards in one play.
Yeah, that's true. So I did want to go back to one of the games. I know it's 1:00 over here, but I did want to go back to one of the games that you guys mentioned, the Raiders and Jags game, because I used to be a Raiders fan, and I'll return once their car's gone. So I have the Jags. I didn't put it on there just out of loyalty to the Raiders, but I do think the Raiders have a chance. But it really all relies on Josh Jacobs, especially with Waller being out today. I think the Raiders could pull it off, but Josh Jacobs has to bounce back. If he has a bad game, then it's definitely going to be a Jaguars win, I think.
So did you have the rate? Like, if you had to pick, who are you picking?
Well, actually, originally I didn't have the Bengals game on my picks, and I had the Jaguars there. Okay. But like out of loyalty to the Raiders, I removed that. But,
I was just wondering who you like. Yeah, if you had to like bet on the game, who you would bet?
Yeah, if I had to pick, I'd go with the Jags.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think the Raiders have like so many weapons on the pitch, and I think the Raiders have been playing awful for their talent on the field, and I feel like the Jags have been playing ridiculously well for their talent on the field, and I feel like they both might just be coming the other way at the same time.
The Jags got balls for days because they traded for Calvin Ridley.
I like it.
Me too, but that's that you're not guaranteed he gets reinstated. It's an indefinite suspension with a minimum of 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson is allowed to come back.
Well, they punished gambling more than Deshaun Watson, but that's
exactly. But that's what I mean. Now, that's what I mean. Now gambling's now becoming more illegal in the States. I feel like he may be getting reinstated quite quickly.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong, but the problem is that they keep saying that they have to crack down on sports because gambling's legal. They have to be harder on the players so that no games get thrown.
Yeah, I agree. I think 1 season though is pretty fucking hard. Like,
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying the NFL, I have no idea where they come up with all their craziness.
Yeah, and I don't get me wrong, I do like the Jags. I think they're definitely taking steps in the right direction this season. I think the Raiders are just coming back from a point where it's like rock bottom last week, and I feel like they may take that out on the Jags. Also, I think that Trevor Lawrence will throw a throw. Like, we'll throw a pick. We'll throw a throw. Obviously, he's going to throw a throw, isn't he? He can't walk a throw.
Well, and also, if we're going to give Dak all of
shit, back onto Dak.
So, Jay wants to say he has a great team and they're supposed to go to the Super Bowl every year. We also have to give that same hate to Derek Carr, because Derek Carr, like you said, has all this.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I rode the Carr bandwagon, and he has done nothing but piss on my leg. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
4 years now, and
I think he should get more shit this year, because that's supposed to be like an offense that creates openings for the, quarterback and different things. So I agree with you that Derek Carr should eat some of the heat of what's going on in Oakland.
I would gladly take Dak over Derek Carr any day. You can put me on the record saying that.
Ooh.
I think talent-wise, they're not as far off as their contracts are, and that's what it is for me.
Well, and Dak doesn't have a problem running the ball. Derek Carr has the ability to run the ball. He has the ability to throw the ball deep. He has the ability to check down. He just makes dumb decisions and doesn't.
He's got to check in with David before he does it.
Yeah.
Should and David Carr have went back and forth a few times on Twitter over Derek Carr. So
I think David Carr is top 500 quarterbacks ever. So
top 500 quarterbacks ever.
All right, guys, we did it. We got through the week of games. I know everybody's probably getting ready to watch their games, because I saw some people fall out already as soon as kickoff happened. So we might as well get out of here. What'd you say, Maddie? I didn't hear you.
I was going to say, fair enough. As soon as kickoff hits, get out, go watch your team.
Yeah, they did. It died. We were at like 26 live people, and then it just died down to 4. So
yeah, before that happens, we need to make sure that everybody likes, shares, and follows, because that's how we get more people in the comments taking the piss out of everything we say.
20s, I was like, go get your Linda's barbecue sauce.
Hey, Linda.
No, it's really good. I'm not lying to you guys, though. Go check it out. I wouldn't even have said nothing if it was shitty, but it was really good. We enjoyed it yesterday.
The Bills are already in the red zone.
Let's go, Bills.
All right, Shug, I'm going to tell them one more time, too. Because of our friends at Overtime Hustling, if you go get Linda's barbecue sauce, use promo code Hustling, and you'll get saved 10%. All right. Well, if I could work this computer. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Go watch some football. Thanks again, Shug, for being here. Excited to see your picks next week, and I'm sure I'll talk to you during the game.
Of course. Maddie, have a good day.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for coming on, Shug. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.